Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Eppy. So welcome, everyone. It is the beginning of a brand new set of challenges for these next 2 weeks, and I am very excited to see you all. It's been a minute. So welcome, welcome. Oh, I already see Rosie in the chat. Welcome, everyone in the chat. As always, I'll be checking that throughout the stream today, so if you have any questions or you just want to say hi or anything, let me know. So welcome, we've got Megan, hey Paco, we've got Mesayu, Rosie, everyone that's just filing in. Let me know what is something good that's happening today or just in your life in general. I would love to know. Let's keep it positive today. For me, the weather is beautiful out today. I got my vaccine the other day, so I'm very pumped about that. We just moved to Chicago, me and my husband recently, so lots of good things happening. Let me know what is going on with you guys. We've got Dane, Hassanul, Sam, Laura, lots of familiar faces. Awesome, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. As always, for every 2 weeks on our Mondays, our first Monday of every 2 weeks is usually just a welcome day. So that's what we're gonna do today. So let's go ahead and hop on over to Behance as always. And if you want to follow along with me, this is behance.net/challenge/XD. And this is kind of our homepage where you can come back here every day, see what the new challenges are, and sign up and get to Discord and everything. So awesome. Everyone is still filing in. We've got Michelle from Colorado. Wow, New Zealand. Celine. We've got Elizabeth. Awesome, guys. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so if you're new to the Daily Creative Challenges, here's how it works. Every day, I will give you guys a new challenge for something that you can design in XD. And you can come back here and then scroll on down here, and each of these boxes will be unlocked each day. So you'll see we've got the dates up there. Since today's a welcome day, tomorrow will be our official first day. So here you will see what the challenge is, and then I'll give you guys a starter file that you can download as well. And that'll look a little something like this. And we're gonna go through some sneak peeks today. I'll give you some tips and tricks for things that can help you out, some of my favorite plugins and things like that, and just what to expect for these next 2 weeks. So that's where all the challenges will be. And this is really just for your own benefit. There's no winners or losers here or anything, really just for you to kind of add some more work to your portfolio, maybe meet some other designers over on Discord, get some feedback on your work, and yeah, so just for fun. And also another thing is we used to do these just like every 2 weeks, but now we've given you guys a little bit more time, so we've extended this. So we're going to be replaying these 2 weeks for the next 2 weeks after that. So this one is going from April 26th till May 21st. And I already forgot the first cardinal rule of XD, which is sign up for that big blue button right here. So go ahead and sign up right there. It'll give you a little pop-up saying thanks for joining and join us. And then it'll take you over to Discord. And if you don't already have that, have a username and everything, it'll ask if you want to sign up. We've already got about 62,000 of you guys over there, which is amazing. So if you have any questions about anything XD related or design related, or you just want some feedback on maybe your design career or something like that, or feedback on your work, this is the place to do it. So just to kind of highlight a few important channels over here, we've got Creative Challenge channel. This is where our moderators will let you know who's going to be streaming that day and what time and what the new challenge is. And then if you're new, definitely introduce yourself over here in the introductions channel right there. We've always got lots of new folks saying hey. And then most importantly, if you want feedback on your work, you can post it. We actually have a lot of feedback channels, so just make sure you're putting it in the right one if you do want feedback. So for these challenges, post it in this challenge channel right here. And this is fun because you can see like what everyone else is kind of working on, get some inspiration, give them a little, thumbs up or something if you really like it. Yeah, so I encourage you guys to chat with each other here as well. So you can see what mentors are online, and I, of course, will be giving you feedback throughout these streams. You can see who else is online if you want to chat with anyone else. And definitely feel free to look through the rest of these channels. If you want some feedback on some of your previous work, you can look on, let's see, Design Other, like anything else in your portfolio. We'll give you some feedback there. But yeah, definitely feel free to explore around Discord. It's a really great resource. So yeah, back to our homepage. So we covered what the challenges are, of course, Discord, where we kind of have our community chat. And of course, I'm live every day at 2 p.m. Pacific, and I'll be checking that stream on Behance every day throughout the chat, throughout the stream. So as always, if you have any questions, I don't usually check the YouTube chat at the same time just because it's like a lot to look at, but definitely head over into the Behance chat. And lastly, of course, I mentioned you can share on Discord, but you can also share on Behance if you want. So for instance, just to kind of give you a little example, these are a bunch of my previous challenges that I have done. So if you want to potentially be featured during a stream, come over here to edit. So just while you're, adding all of your beautiful work, come over here to the settings button, and then right here under project tags, you can add as many tags as you want, but be sure to add that keyword XD Daily Challenge, and that way I can search through all of those keywords. And I usually, towards the end of the stream, the last few minutes or so, I'll pick a few that I really liked from the previous day and feature them. So if you'd like to be featured, be sure to add that. Alright, so that is kind of our homepage in a nutshell. You can scroll on down here and explore more if you want. Like if you want to be notified about any future XD challenges, you can get notified by hitting that button. And if you don't have XD, of course, feel free to download it right here. And this is also where you can sign up for Discord right there. And if you're really an overachiever, you can even go back and look through all of our previous daily creative challenges. We've been doing these for a long time. And yeah, you can still get the starter files from those as well. I'm still scrolling, oh man. So this will just be something like that. It'll just download, and it's an XD file. So you can open those up really easily. So yeah, that is our main homepage. Another few resources that I wanted to show you before we kind of look at XD is our gallery page. So if you head on over to behance.net/galleries/challenges, this is sort of all of the creative challenges. So if you didn't know, we have not just an XD challenge, but we also have a Photoshop challenge, and we have an Illustrator challenge. So you can even look in some of these. I like looking through these as well. But yeah, check out the XD category here and just see what everyone else has been working on. I love looking at these. If you want to, you can add some of your prototype, like the videos, to your work as well. You can export that from XD, and I'll show you how to do that today. And so this whole page is kind of curated, so maybe you'll see one of your works up here too. So check that one out. And if you ever want to know kind of what's going on with XD, like what the latest features are and stuff, you can always come over here to the features tab of this page. So this used to be, if you would type in letsxd.com, it now reroutes to this page. So this is where all, Howard's awesome videos are, bunch of tutorial video for, those animated circle charts, anything you could possibly want to know about designing or prototyping, components, you name it, it's probably on this page here. So this is a great resource as well. And yeah, so let's hop into XD and we can kind of go through some sneak peeks and just a little bit about XD. So let me check the chat. Hey everyone that's just joining. Matthias, we've got Umacorn, Messiah, awesome. How's everyone's day going? Let me know. Oh, Elizabeth asked, what was the tag? I think you're talking about for on Behance if you're sharing. It was XD Creative Challenge. Sorry, it was pretty small there. I need to zoom in on that next time. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so this is kind of what your starter file will look like tomorrow. So you'll get this. You won't have all the sneak previews, obviously. That is just for today. But usually, you know, I'll tell you like what day of the challenge it is. Today's the welcome day. I have this blurred out, of course, because I don't want to give too much away, but I'll give you the challenge prompt, of course, and then I'll tell you where in XD we're kind of going to focus on for that particular day, whether it's, you know, components or something with the pen tool or something in prototyping. We'll focus on kind of one area each day. And then I usually give you guys some inspiration, just relating to whatever that particular day is. And then down here, this I always include in the starter files because I feel like it's always helpful. This is a little resource booklet for where you can find some different icons that I personally love. Fonts. Really, I just use Adobe fonts, so that's the only one that's there. Excuse me. Photos, of course, you know, Unsplash and Adobe Stock. Just some different links for things that you might find helpful during these 2 weeks. So check out that resource booklet. And again, you have to click on this and then come over here to the components panel in order to click through some of those tabs. And then at the bottom here, this is where to share, like I've already mentioned, and I always give some little tips and tricks relating to whatever that challenge is for the day. So, okay, so before we kind of get into all of this, if you're totally new to XD, this is what you will see when you first open it up. So this is kind of your main home screen, and from here you can create a new artboard. So we've got some of the different mobile sizes right here, you know, iPhone, Google Pixel and all that, and then these are the desktop sizes, so you need to click that little drop down caret. And then these are the social sizes. Or you can also choose a custom size if you want, but remember, you can always go in and change the artboard sizes after, so it's not permanent. And then we've got some of our recent files down here. And don't forget about this Learn tab, because this is another great resource. Bunch of videos here, tutorials if you know, are bored or you just want to go back and revisit something and learn something new. And your cloud documents, of course, are right here as well. So that is so for instance, if let's say you click the web size, this is what you would get: a blank canvas with a 1280 size desktop web screen. So you can always just click and drag to resize this if you want, or you can come over here to the transform tool and just change that artboard size. And this is where that artboard icon is. I'm just gonna stay in this one file so we don't have too much open at a time. But yes, everyone is saying there's a squirrel on the right. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Pets. Maybe that, oh, okay, for the inspiration. Oh, you guys are looking too hard and too closely. I'll share those at the end of the stream, the sneak peeks, don't worry. Okay, so over here, of course, we've got all of our basic tools. You know, you've got rectangle, oval, and if you're ever looking for something specific and you can't find it, it might just be kind of buried a layer deeper, because they tried to keep everything very just like tidy and organized and not too overwhelming. So for instance, inside the triangle, we have also the star. So you would come over here to your appearance panel, and if you hover over any of like the middle of these areas, you can drag in the center. So same with if you hover over the corners, you can change the radius size as well. And usually most of these things you can do both on the artboard as well as in the appearance panel over here. So we can change this number of points, and we can change the radius here as well. So usually there's a few different ways of doing the same thing. So that is like stars. We've got line, of course, pen tool if you just want to do something kind of free form, and of course text. Let's go ahead and, like, let's say on this artboard we're doing some kind of digital wallet app. So we could make, you know, a rectangle, I could come up here and just sort of round my corners right there. Maybe I will come over here to the appearance panel, and I usually turn off the border. Let's just make this some kind of nice purple. Play around over there. And then maybe next we want to add some text. So we could just say Andrea Epi. That is me, of course. And just some random number for our credit card. Let's say just 1, 2, 3, 4. And then maybe we'd also have like the logo right above that. So that could be our circle. And then if you're ever trying to keep a shape like the same size, like you don't want it to be an elongated oval, just hold down the shift button while you're dragging. So same thing for the rectangle or triangle as well. And then again, we could come over here, change this to maybe like a little bit of a darker purple for that logo. And one of my favorite things, of course, in XD is the repeat grid tool. So that, like, let's say, you know, they always have those little dots for like hiding some of the numbers. So let's say we wanted a ton of those. So I would make this pretty small. And then we could come over here to this right side and hit repeat grid and just drag that to as many dots as you want. We could kind of drag that in a little bit. Just want 4. And then I'll ungroup those once and then group them again together and do another repeat grid to kind of have 4 like sections of those. How many numbers are there usually? I think there's like about 4 groups. So something like that for the numbers. And then, you know, we could kind of group all of those together. And then if you wanted to sort of prototype this, what you would want to do, let's drag these a little bit out of the way, is, so you need 2 artboards at least to make some sort of prototype to go from one screen to another, of course. So just select the whole artboard by selecting this title of the artboard up here, and you can rename this to whatever you want, you know, banking app, oops, didn't hit enter, banking app, there we go, and then you can just press Command C and Command V to paste it. And maybe on this one, this is one of my favorite features in XD. So we could come over here to the transform tool and we could hit this little cube. So this is for 3D, and we'll be doing one of our challenges about this, don't worry, because this is one of my favorites. So all you do then is you see this little sort of 3D arrows right here, and we could just click and drag this around to the back. And you want to go in and make another layer. Maybe you could add like just some other information, the signature or whatever on the back, but just kind of for today, we're just playing around. So yeah, you could drag this up and down or left and right. And then you see up here, we've got design, prototype, and share. So we could come over here to our prototype tab. And here you'll see we have a bunch of different options. So we've still got our document assets and everything over here, but now we've got a bunch of things on the right side that are a little bit different. So depending on which tab you're in, your tools will be a little bit different. So if we select any element on our artboard, doesn't really matter which one, you'll see it becomes blue, and we can drag this little arrow over to our next artboard. And now you'll see all of that content that was sort of grayed out. It's now visible, so we can choose the type of trigger. So maybe we just want to tap. You can also do voice, which is a really fun one. We'll be doing something with that as well. Keys and gamepad, drag as well. Those are just like the main things that you would want, but usually just tap is fine. And then you can choose the action as well down here. So it already guessed, it guessed correctly. We want to do a little bit of auto animate. You can also do just, you know, some kind of dissolve transition, an overlay, speech playback, audio playback. So play around with these. There's a lot of fun things you can do. And then this one I usually don't touch too much. You can usually leave it at none or like whatever the default is, like ease out. Bounce I feel like is a little, you know, silly sometimes, like if you see a bouncing animation. So a lot of these I don't try too much, but duration I definitely usually use. I'll leave this at like 1 second. And then you can additionally add another action on top of that. So if you wanted to add like a sound when it spins around or something, that wouldn't really work in this situation, but you could do it. So then once you've got all of your interactions kind of figured out, what you could do is come up here to your desktop preview, this little play button. And this will give you a window where you can preview the exact size of your artboard, depending on like if you do something that's larger than whatever screen you have. Like if you have a 1920 screen size and something that's bigger than that, obviously it can only be your screen size. But you can also preview this on your phone, which is really nice. So if you have the XD app on your phone, you can preview this directly, and like it's really nice to see all like the button sizes, if they're correct, kind of play around, like see if it matches your finger size sort of, and the font sizes. But this is nice too, to just be able to see really quick. So like for instance, we just prototyped this, and if we tap it, we've got our little auto animate, little transition there. And same thing, we could spin this around. So if we want to add the same exact thing, usually it guesses if you're doing auto animate. So same thing, just like a tap trigger, we could do another auto animate and the same duration, just kind of keep it simple. So we could spin it right back. So super fun. So that's just like a little sort of preview of the prototype tab. And one thing to mention when you're prototyping, maybe you have a whole ton of artboards, you've got 50 artboards or something. And one thing you want to note is if you do multiple flows, you always want to keep one artboard selected as the home. So select or unselect whichever artboard you want, and that way whenever you press this preview button, it will always go back to your home instead of like artboard 30 or whatever, some random artboard. So make sure you have that selected when you're doing prototyping. And then the share tab, this is kind of your final step. So like when you're ready to share with, you know, some clients or stakeholders or whoever, this is where you can do that. So up here you would name whatever you want your link to be, My Great Design, whatever, and you can actually change the view settings. So depending on who you're sharing this to, if you're just sharing it to some users and you kind of want to test it out with them, they don't want to see like all the hex codes and everything, so they would just get the basic screens and they can be able to click through it. So that would be a good one for them. Same presentation, it's a little more watered down for just presenting. Development is nice because you can share, you know, all of the exportable assets so the developers can download those and use them right away. All the hex codes and font styling, everything like that. So that is nice for development, and then you would just say create link. So that is the share tab. Oh, one thing I also didn't mention yet is these three icons down here. These are super important. So what we're on right now is our libraries or our document assets panel. So this is, if you would go back, this little back arrow right here, these are all of your libraries. So if you have one for client A, B, or C, all of those would appear here. So you can kind of mix and match assets very quickly among projects if you need to. And then if you want to click within document assets, you can go back in, click that. And this is nice because this is where all of your components will live. So for instance, you know, if I want to save this white and blue and everything, oh man, I gotta hurry up here because I want to share the sneak peek still. Basically, you come over here to your colors, select something, and press that little plus icon right there, and it will automatically select all of those colors. You got the hex codes. You can go and rename those if you want, and save them for anywhere within the rest of your document. Same with character styles and your components as well. So like this, I've already made a component, and we can drag this down here, and we can drag as many of these as we want. And if we have like 50 of these resource booklets, I can just edit the main one, and all of the rest of those components will be updated as well. So that is really nice. And then down here, we've got our layers panel, and then of course our plugins. And I didn't quite get to everything, but I do want to show you guys the sneak peeks really quick, just in the next minute that we have. But I'll go through, some of my favorite plugins and stuff as we're working on these the next 2 weeks, so don't worry. But sneak previews. Okay, so day 1, which is tomorrow, we're going to be working on something relating to package delivery. Our favorite things during the day to look forward to. Day 2, we'll be doing something with mobile email. Day 3, we'll be working on a word counter. I've been writing a lot, so really wanted to do that. Day 4, improving the video conferencing experience, because I'm sure you guys are all doing a lot of that recently. Day 5, we'll be doing something with automated coffee. Day 6, we'll be doing something with a discover page. Day 7, we'll be revisiting some browser tabs, maybe some 3D in there. Day 8 will be something about vaccination appointments. And day 9, I just kept it super vague with this one, restaurants, because I didn't want to give too much away. But those are our sneak peeks. They're not like building off of each other or anything, so if you miss a day, totally fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm very excited for these next 2 weeks. That's about all the time that I have left for today, unfortunately. But I will be back here again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific, so be sure to tune back in then. And we have a little bit of a break right now, but our next stream will be at 7 p.m. Pacific, so be sure to tune back in for that. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.